With the release of Avengers Infinity War, it's going to be the culmination of 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 10 years since Iron Man 1 came out and changed the face of what it meant to be a comic book movie going forward, since it was the one to start the established shared universe as we know it today. But of course, it wasn't really that the dream was fully realized up until the release of the Avengers a few years later, which would go on to change Hollywood forever with that movie's groundbreaking box office and the realization that you could bring together all of these different franchises and make them work together on the screen as one. But recently, Zach Penn, the man that co-wrote the original Avengers, who also helped the screenplay for the recently released Ready Player One, got to talk a little bit about the concept of the shared universe and how it's changed cinema forever. Now, he actually goes on and talks about how it was his idea that the X-Men were originally part of this giant shared universe before the MCU was ever a thought. And he also talks about how it wasn't just him, it was also Kevin Feige, Avi Arad, and all of the rest of them that were looking at the standalone superhero movie saying this isn't going to go anywhere. But as it turns out, Zach didn't actually listen to them, and he was told by many people when Marvel Studios approached them before they were ever acquired by Disney to work on the Avengers that he just kind of jumped on board and he saw that this could be the future after he sat down and talked to Kevin Feige. And it was the rest of the people in the industry that actually told him not to do this, that it was a waste of time and a crazy idea because this would never go anywhere, and a company like Marvel financing their own movies would lead to the ultimate destruction of Marvel Comics. So it's interesting just to see how much things have changed, right? We know from the very early days of Spider-Man 1 and X-Men 1 when Kevin Feige first got his start, he wanted a shared universe concept, but he kept getting turned down by various higher-ups. So it was up to him to go start Marvel Studios and really put the, pedal to the metal and just go for it and see what happens. And a few short years later, here comes the Avengers to break the box office, and 10 years after the release of Iron Man 1, aka 12 years after they started it, Hollywood is not the same anymore, and it's largely thanks to Marvel Studios. So, what could have been and what is and what everybody else is chasing that can't achieve what Marvel has.